All right, welcome back. Different ritual today. I needed pictures for Kamohoali'i's shark tooth ritual. And what this is it is another petition. You can do it with your candles, essentially paper and intent. And what we're doing here is we're essentially offering these candles as offerings, right? Charged offerings to Kamohoali'i. In my case, I will blood them. And we'll be putting our intent into this paper for this to happen. We do a quick call to him. And usually you would continue that call until you feel him approach. And then you would use your preferred method of determining if he's accepted the task or not. In this case, I know that he has, because this was going to be one group instead of two. There were some distinctions that he felt they should be turned into two requests, not just one. That works for me. Now, when I've done this in the past, I've shown that I'll color in the end of this tooth and put drops of blood with a red pen, which I don't have any red pens right now, so that's just not going to happen. And y'all knew I was going to use my blood anyhow. That's what I'll do. And like I said, these are two distinct groups. I used a phrase this time to separate those two groups, and these are the resultant sigils for that. Let's see. Over that. Okay. Well, getting closer to putting in all this stuff for Pele's Grimoire, so let's just go ahead and get this started. What are we going to do first? First, we've already prepared the pages as we want them, but what we also are going to do, though, is we're going to put our intent into these pages, and it kind of helps with the communication medium in case there are things that you want to have happen, but you just don't know how to articulate, or you might not be in a place where you can say something like that out loud. There's nothing that says you can do these sigils and stuff later, and then print a piece of paper, say on the bus or something. You can do that, and then just fill in the rest later. That's fine. Now, you're not going to know if he's going to accept it or not, but it may help you get through whatever trying period you have at that particular point in time. So we are going to charge these papers with intent. We'll vocalize as much of this as possible. These are two foreign government groups, so there are no ties to these are not U.S. targets at all. Just felt the need to say that, but they're continuing. Both facets of these are continuing armed conflict somewhere in the world, and I would like to see that stop. Now, obviously, I did a ritual not too long ago, a series of rituals really, where I did a layered working to help in another area of the world with conflict. This is a different area. So now the reason for using Kamohoali'i here is because in something like this, when you're getting down to the teeth, he's going to bite pretty hard, and that's exactly what I want. I don't know to what extent I need that to happen. I don't know how incapacitated or otherwise they would need to be to make happen what I want to have happen. And again, like I said, how he does it, I don't particularly care. I care about the end result, and he's not known for mincing bites, say, right? All right. Second here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I've already got this prepared, and when you're thinking of Kamohoali'i, just like any of the other spirits that are board fans, they're going to know that you're thinking of them, right? Because you're not just doing it idly. It's not like a passing thought. You're thinking about how you want them to do what they will do if they agree to do it, right? Now, how they actually do it is going to be up to them. At least in this case, that's what I would prefer. So I don't have my bowl of salt water I usually put a drop of blood in some salt water and then call the Shark King to tell him there's blood in the water. But I don't have that here, and I don't like to use my personal dishes for that, so we'll have to wait for those to arrive for something like that. But that is part of the calling process for me. So instead I'll just use his name, and I'll think of him as essentially a man with a shark's head and the ability to swim at the speed of a shark. It really is that simple, at least for me. So I will call him, Kamohoali'i, please come. There's bloody work to be done. Kamohoali'i, Kamohoali'i. Come, Shark King, come. Okay, so when he's starting to come into this space, like right now, you start to feel that very aggressive, because he knows it's for an aggressive thing. He doesn't always come aggressively, but he knows this is for an aggressive ask. And I can feel like the aggression of a frenzy starting in myself, because I'm calling him. His energy is coming into the space. I'm picking up on that. So, they don't have to be, you're not evoking them here. Depending on which definition you use, it's more of an invocation, but it's not a partial possession. So, Kamohoali'i. I have split these two groups up as you felt you should, as I felt I should, and I assume they came from you, my Lord. I ask you to please attack these two groups as you see fit, so they may discontinue, causing more unnecessary and needless bloodshed in the name of ego. I will be charging and bleeding on these two candles. I will be bleeding on these two pages in return for these asks. Hail Kamohoali'i, and thank you. Now, if I hadn't gotten a nod or the frenzied approach, then I would probably use divination or a flat out ask if you would accept this. But those two combinations pretty much tell me that he's accepted this task, even though I know he would. I knew he would, excuse me. And now we will get on with the bloody work. Now I'm going to bleed and then wax one of these, then I'll bleed and wax. I'll bleed on both first, but the candles wise I'll have to do blood on the second one later. And the reason for that is it's just going to flake off. So I'll bleed on charge. Okay. And then I'll bleed on these pages. I'll bleed on one candle, start the wax. I'll have to leave it a little bit higher so I can then wax this one also. Instead of doing just one ritual and then doing the back, completing that, then coming back and doing the other one. Because these candles could take an hour and a half to burn. And there's no reason for them to have to burn consecutively when they can burn concurrently. So, here we go. Hail to Shark King. Hail and thank you. Again, like I explained yesterday, don't hit your bone if you can help it. All right, let's go ahead and there we go. Now, when Kamohoali'i comes, he can come in different ways. Like in this case, I can feel some of his entities he commands, or at least has partnerships with behind him, who are going to be taking part in this task. And as you can see, I'm kind of painting this blood into the shape of a generic shark's tooth also. All right, see if I got, still good stick, okay. All right. All right, this stick is still pretty good, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'll wait and bleed on another one. We'll do another stick later here, I think, because I still need to put my intent into the page. Now I can tell him that, I can give him that directly. I can voice it, but that might get me in trouble with YouTube and any other platform that have decided to go soft on everything. So what am I going to visualize here? I'll visualize shark's teeth, you know, just kind of tearing things up, tearing things off, you know, maybe some bleeding out sort of things. And like I said, even though that's what I'm saying in my head, you know, or I can be saying it out loud, it is up to him. So it doesn't have to be quite that dramatic or brutal. It literally doesn't matter to me. All right, this is starting to slow down, so let me go ahead and imprint the pages. And similar to how we were charging the candle yesterday, we talked about Pele's warming ritual. You can do a similar thing here. We exhaled and we pushed the energy into the candle. Here we're gonna do a similar thing. We're just pushing the thoughts and intent. If you're using emotion, you can put that in there too if you choose to do that. We'll just go ahead and be pushing those into the pages instead of like say putting them in the candle, or in this case we're not going to say it out loud, right? But we could say it out loud if we wanted to. So give me a minute here. Okay. All right. So I have to do new stick anyhow, so just go ahead and do this. And then I'll start. Now, see, it's not going to be as good of a one. That's fine. All right, now do you have to put this much on there? No, the answer is you don't. You can make other offerings, right? And part of that will be your intuition, whatever you decide should happen. You go to do different sticks. I like the way that one was acting. Well, I can get the candle down anyways. All right, so we're gonna go and bleed on the first candle then. Thank you, Kamohoali'i. Please accept these offerings of blood, energy, and a candle. And I thank you for your assistance with this situation. Now, since this is an active zone, if you will, There's going to be stuff out about it, but I would encourage you, if you're going to be acting on current affairs sort of things, but keep in mind that the disinformation and misinformation are everywhere, and there are a lot of moving parts. So if you have to redo a ritual again because you kind of got there but you didn't quite, then don't be upset about that. Just do it. The end result is what matters, not the ego of did I get it right in just one go. That doesn't really matter at all. So, all right. You see that? Yeah. Okay. Hail Kamohoali'i, and thank you. Okay, as you saw me doing yesterday, if you watched that video, you turn the candle to help distribute the wax a little bit more evenly. It does help with your ability to kind of get an idea of where the drops are going to be. If you really want to, you'll notice on some of these, like Pele's warming spell, which usually uses a bit of a different area. It's more of a wider one. The page will kind of curl a little bit. You can hold it down if you want to, but there really doesn't seem to be much point. In the end, it's just going to get burnt. So page warping from when the wax cools and contracts isn't really that big of a deal. But if you want an aesthetic picture for it, then you'll want to kind of hold it down. But your wax might crack depending on how much is there. So keep that in mind. All right, I will go ahead and cut this, and then we will come back when it is. I've done the second one. I'll cut back at that point, if that makes more sense. All right, so as you can see here, we have now largely covered the 2 pages. As much as, I mean, we could do this more if we want. In the end, the candle's still gonna burn. So move this out to the burning place so that way I can get that going. It's still in the wind tunnel, so that might prove to be a little bit difficult again. I don't have a good solution for that yet, but I should be able to find some. So find something. We'll see. Anyways, we'll be lighting up next here and get it going. Okay, and as you can see here, we are now back outside the wind tunnel. Both these candles are for Kamohoali'i. I don't really have to worry about which one's lighting the paper. Right. You may have to light it a few times, just like last time. That's just the way it goes. When this is suboptimal place for doing this. Hail to you, Kamohoali'i. Hail and thank you. you get the idea. I don't need to drag the video out any longer than this. The wax is going to take some time to burn, and that's fine. So, fire safety though, keep an eye on what you're burning. Once this larger fires out, then I'll just go ahead and put the lid on this grill so those flames can't go anywhere else around here. Although I don't think we're under a wildfire watch at the moment, but just to be safe. So, all right, see you on the flip side.